Welcome back to a new video, a new horror story video. I hope you enjoyed last week's Haunted Places Part 1 video. If you haven't watched it, I will leave the link down below. So, as explained in the previous video, I mentioned that I have 8 different stories, and which I decided to split into 2 videos. So part 1 was last week with 4 different stories, and today we have the remaining 4. Without further ado, let's get to story number 5. Okay, so in story number 5 we are going to be exploring Poveglia Island from Venice, Italy. So this place is known as the Island of No Return, and it has a history so dark it's often avoided even by locals. So Poveglia's past began in the 18th century when it was used as a quarantine station during the outbreak of the bubonic plague. Ships carrying infected passengers would dock at the island, and those suspected of having the plague were isolated and left to die. Thousands of plague victims were buried on the island, their lives claimed by the deadly disease, and the spirits of these victims are said to still haunt the island, the restless souls adding to the eerie presence. In the 1920s, Poveglia took on a new and even darker role as it became home to a mental asylum. Patients who were sent there were often treated inhumanely, with reports of cruel experiments including lobotomies. The ghostly whispers and strange occurrences reported by those who visited the island speak of a place where suffering never truly ended. So today, Poveglia remains abandoned and access to the island is restricted, and its decaying buildings, overgrown vegetation, and crumbling remnants of the past create an atmosphere of eerie desolation. So the island has become a site for thrill seekers and paranormal investigators who have claimed to experience strange sounds, ghostly apparitions, and an overwhelming sense of dread that hangs in the air. Whether it's the tragic deaths from the plague or the torment of those locked away in the asylum, people say that the island's unsettling history has left a mark, and many believe that the spirits of the island still linger, trapped in a cycle of suffering that can never be escaped. Story number 6. The Myrtles Plantation in St. Francisville, Louisiana, USA. The Myrtles Plantation is often regarded as a very haunted house in the United States, and with its rich history, the plantation is shrouded in mystery, and its tragic past has given rise to numerous chilling legends of paranormal activity that have persisted for centuries. So the Myrtles Plantation was originally built in 1796 by General David Bradford, a former lawyer and politician who had been involved in the Whiskey Rebellion. His intention was to create a grand estate, and the plantation's expansive grounds and elegant home reflected his wealth and influence. However, beneath the mansion's beauty, there lies a dark history marked by murder, betrayal, and ghostly hauntings. So one of the most famous stories associated with the plantation is the tale of Chloe, a former slave who worked on the estate. According to legend, Chloe had a troubled and complicated relationship with Clark, the plantation's owner. Some accounts suggest that she was his mistress, while others claim she was simply a servant. Regardless of the nature of the relationship, Chloe's life would end in tragedy. So the most commonly told version of Chloe's story involves an attempt to gain favor with Clark by baking a cake for his family, which she allegedly laced with poison. The intent was to make Clark ill so that he would require her attention, but the result was far more sinister. Clark's wife Sarah and their children ate the poisoned cake and tragically died as a result. Chloe was blamed for their deaths, and in a gruesome act of revenge, she was hanged by the other slaves and thrown into the nearby Mississippi River, and her body was never recovered. Chloe's restless spirit is said to haunt the Myrtles Plantation to this day. She is most often seen wearing a green turban, which was allegedly part of her clothing as a slave, and her apparition has been spotted on the grounds of the plantation or peering out from the windows of the house. Visitors claim to feel a cold, oppressive energy in the house, particularly around the area where Chloe's ghost is said to appear. But Chloe is not the only spirit said to haunt the plantation. The Myrtles has become notorious for its other spectral residents. The family itself, including Clark and Sarah, are believed to still linger in the house. The ghost of Sarah is often described as a sorrowful presence with her face appearing in the mirrors of the mansion or wandering the halls at night. Guests have reported seeing her reflection shift in the mirrors even when no one is physically present in the room, further contributing to the eerie reputation of the plantation. One of the most famous pieces of furniture on the estate is the mirror in the hallway, which is thought to be cursed. Visitors have reported seeing handprints on the glass or hearing voices or footsteps near it, despite being alone in their room. Some believe the mirror is a portal for the spirits, who may be trying to communicate from beyond the grave. Other ghosts said to haunt the Myrtles include the spirits of former slaves who lived and died on the plantation, and the restless souls are said to be particularly active at night, often causing strange noises or moving objects in the house. And the feeling of being watched is pervasive, and some visitors have reported hearing children's laughter or experiencing sudden drops in temperature, all signs that paranormal activity is at play. Story 7. The Schooner Hotel in Alnmouth, England. Nestled along the picturesque coastline of Alnmouth, England, the Schooner Hotel appears charming and serene at first glance, but beneath its exterior lies a sinister history that has earned it the reputation of being one of Britain's most haunted hotels. Dating back to the 17th century, the Schooner Hotel has seen centuries of murder, betrayal, and death. It is said that over 60 spirits haunt this coastal inn, each tied to the dark events that unfolded within its walls. Some rooms bear the weight of violent crimes, stories of entire families slaughtered in cold blood, and guests who checked in but were never seen again. Even guests today frequently report hearing blood-curdling screams in the dead of night, disembodied footsteps pacing the corridors, and the sound of children laughing when no children are present. Room number 28 is infamous for its paranormal activity. Many claim to wake up to icy touches or the sensation of unseen hands pressing down on their chest as if someone is trying to stop them from breathing. Even in the bar, patrons have witnessed glasses flying off shelves on their own and shadowy figures moving in the reflection of the mirrors. So it's no wonder paranormal investigators flock to the schooner, eager to uncover its mysteries. But beware, some visitors say they have left the hotel not only with memories, but with the spirits following them home. Interesting. You know, I've always wondered, do you guys believe in spirits following you home, or any of you have had such experiences? I don't know, because we have heard this, or at least I have heard this in many stories, so I don't know, I'm just curious. Okay, final story. The Château de Brissac in Loire Valley of France. So, this chateau stands as a majestic symbol of history, beauty, and perhaps something more sinister. Known as the haunted castle of the Loire, this 11th century fortress has been home to French nobility for centuries and is famous not only for its striking architecture and vast grounds, but also for its terrifying ghostly legend. The Château de Brissac was originally constructed in the 11th century, but it underwent significant renovations in the 15th century, giving it its stunning Renaissance appearance. The castle's luxurious rooms, grandiose decor, and lush gardens make it a popular tourist attraction today. But behind its elegant walls lies a dark and tragic history. The most haunting aspect of the chateau's history is the tragic story of Charlotte, de France. A young woman whose untimely death is said to have triggered the castle's haunting. Charlotte was the wife of Jacques de Brissac, a nobleman of great power and wealth. However, the marriage was far from a fairy tale. The husband became aware that Charlotte had been carrying on a long-standing affair, and the emotional toll was too great for him to bear, and the situation escalated to a horrifying conclusion when one fateful night Charlotte was found brutally murdered in her bed. Legend has it that the husband, enraged by the betrayal, was responsible for her death. Though some versions of the story suggest that he killed her in a fit of jealousy, and other accounts claim that Charlotte's death was the result of a jealous lover's fury, with her tragic end being the culmination of a love triangle. Regardless of the exact cause, Charlotte's untimely death has left a lasting stain on the chateau. It is said that her restless spirit still haunts the chateau to this day, searching for justice, and Charlotte's ghost, known as the Green Lady or La Dame Verte, is often seen roaming the castle's grand corridors. She is described as a woman in a green dress, and her ghostly figure drifting silently through the walls and rooms where she once lived. Visitors to the chateau have reported strange, inexplicable phenomena, sudden drops in temperature, eerie whispers in the night, and the feeling of an unseen presence following them through the castle. One of the most chilling accounts come from a guard who worked at the chateau. He claimed to have seen Charlotte's apparition standing at the foot of his bed, staring down at him in silence. The guard, paralyzed with fear, reported hearing the sound of heavy footsteps walking the corridors even though no one else was there. Others have experienced similar encounters, including the feeling of being watched or touched by unseen hands. As if this were not terrifying enough, Charlotte is said to have a habit of showing her ghostly presence at the stroke of midnight. On some occasions, she appears in her full spectral form, her glowing face staring hauntingly through the darkened halls. The tragic energy surrounding her death has made her a powerful and restless spirit, one that refuses to leave the chateau's walls. But the hauntings don't end with Charlotte. Other strange occurrences have been reported over the years, suggesting that the chateau may be home to more than just one restless soul. People have reported experiencing disturbing laughter echoing in the halls. Some have claimed to have seen shadowy figures lurking in corners, or sudden intense sensations of unease that cannot be explained. So yeah, that's the chateau's long history marked by love, betrayal, and violence. Okay, so many French words. Apologies if I got the pronunciations incorrect. I most likely did, I think. Okay, so yeah, another quick video this week. Very sorry about it. I'm working on a much more exciting video for next week, so do, I don't know, wait for it. I mean, do subscribe, hit the notification button, to get alerts on the new video. So I hope you liked this short but interesting video. So yeah, I'll let you go for now. And until next time, hasta luego.